Hi everybody, welcome to the second class of our Cozy Socks. Hope you had fun working on the ribbing part of your sock. After you have the ribbing done for 3 to 4 inches, depending how long you want them, I'm going to get you to do 1 inch of just knit in the round. After you've got your ribbing done, you're going to do 1 inch of just stocking stitch, which is knit every round when you're in the round. And so now you have that, and you're ready to start your heel flap. So for the heel flap, what's going to happen is we're going to be working on half of the stitches, 22 stitches, and we're going to be leaving the other half at rest for a while. So we're literally going to be working back and forth, not in the round. We're going to be working back and forth on the 22 heel stitches for a little while, creating what's called the heel flap. So what we need to do is we need to arrange our stitches so that we've got 22 all on one needle. And we want to have our yarn right actually where it is. We want to have it at the end of our working needle so that we are ready to turn our work around and purl back in the other direction and the yarn is in the right place. So to do that, right now I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 stitches on my needle, but we want to get 22 on there. So what we're going to do is we're literally going to slip 10 stitches onto the end of the needle. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you know what? I'm just going to double check and make sure. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Okay, so we've got our 22 heel stitches now on this one needle. And these other 2 needles, we're going to ignore them for a while, and technically, you can divvy them up so that you've got 11 stitches on each one. It doesn't really matter whether they're totally equal. I'll divvy them up a little bit better here just so that they're dangling more equally, but it really doesn't matter. We're totally ignoring them for now. Okay, so back to here, we've got our 22 heel stitches here, and these needles we're not dealing with at the moment. So what happens is, like I say, we're going to start working back and forth now, not in the round. Okay, so we're going to literally turn our work around so that the wrong side is facing us, and starting with the wrong side, we are going to slip our first stitch. So we're just slipping it from the left needle to the right needle without purling it, but in the purl direction, like through the stitch this way. Slip it over to your right needle. Okay, now we are going to purl to the end of this whole row. Okay, and again, I'm sorry if I look a little bit awkward, but I've got the camera in my face between me and my knitting, so I'm looking around the camera. So sorry for the slight jostling of needles. So purling to the end of this row. Okay, purl to the end. Okay, now turn your work around so that the right side is facing you, and we are going to slip a stitch again at the edge of the beginning of the row. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to do this, whether it's I slip the stitch knit ways like I was going to knit it, rightly or wrongly. That's what I've always done on my socks. So slip that first stitch like it was a knit, just move it over, and then knit your next stitch normally. Now we're going to slip the next stitch and knit the next stitch. So slip, knit, all the way to the end of the row. Slip, knit, slip, knit. And if, say the phone was to ring and you were to put your knitting down and you come back to it and you can't remember whether you just slipped or you just knitted, if you look at your stitches, the stitches that are knitted have a knit bump at the back, and the stitches that have just been slipped don't have a bump attached to them. They're just a loose stitch. So I just knitted, so I need to slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit. Okay, so those are the first 2 rows of our heel flap. So what's going to happen now is you're going to repeat those 2 rows until you have a heel flap sticking out here to about 2 1/4 inches rather in depth, right from where you started out to here. So you're going to repeat, we're going to turn around, do another row of slip 1, purl to the end, and I'm going to do that all the way to the end again. There we go. And then the same again, turn back and do slip 1 as if to knit. Just move it over like you were knitting it, but without knitting it at all. And then knit a stitch, and then slip a stitch, and knit a stitch all the way to the end of that row. I must have split that stitch on the previous row because it doesn't want to go over. I'll fudge it. Slip. Oh, did I do that right? No, I knit that one. Haha. Let's go back. Knit. Slip. Knit. That one will be a bit bulky, but I don't care. Okay, so there you go. Those are the 2 rows for your heel flap. And so you're just going to repeat those 2 rows until you have 2 1/4 inches done on your heel flap. And the reason we get you to do the knit slips and whatnot, if you can begin to see here, the beginning texture-wise, it gives you a nice textured, sort of slightly thicker heel. Works good, a little bit more probably durable than just doing a stocking stitch heel flap. So that's what's being attained by doing your knit slip, and your row of purl in between. So carry on. You can do your homework, and because there's not a whole lot to do in this section before you're ready for your next instruction, which is going to be turning the heel, which is really cool, we'll do that tomorrow night. And so you only have to wait one night this time before class number 3. So we will see you same time tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Bye.